Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish up this web design mockup. You've seen there's two ways we can go about doing this. We can use the rulers, grids, and guides to go in and just block off some very basic ways of doing things, or we can use assets from Photoshop themselves to quickly dump into our website and move them around to get an idea of what we want our site to look like very quickly. So I'm just going to add a couple more things here just so you can see the process as we move along, and it's going to be the same process throughout the web design mockup. You just dropping things in and adjusting them, moving them, and seeing what works best for you. So let me go ahead and minimize. We got our top section. We got this adjustments layer that we have here. Let's see if I drop that behind that line. I still have my notes layer, so I can always go and read what I wanted to add. So I wanted my menu bar, and I can go into the top here and add those into the menu bar up here, but this will give us a basic idea. And then I've got my profile picture, so I wanted some recent blog posts and podcast posts and a lead magnet and a Google ad. So let's go ahead and add in a couple more of these things. I am going to go to this one. This is the bricks element, and if I zoom in here, this is a cool document. It's long and it's got a lot of stuff in it. And again, part of the problem with this document is just trying to figure out what is what here. So we got a bunch of different things to choose from. And I'm going to scroll through here. And I'm looking for something that would work for our blog posts and our podcast post. Something like this might be good. This could be something cool. This could be a blog post image that we could use. And that's all I'm doing is I'm going through here and trying to figure out what would reflect something that actually looks like a blog post. I like this one right here. It looks like a post where I would have an image in there, the name, the title of the post, the information as I begin talking about the post, when I posted it, and any comments have been left. And maybe I could have this favorites heart here, or maybe I could take that out. So like I said, we got to figure out which one this is, because these names don't necessarily mean anything to us. So I just go through here and I just start clicking off these layers. Oh, okay, here it is, image gallery 3. So I'm going to left click on that. I'm going to drag it into my document. I'm going to drop it in. All right, and so this is a spot where now when I was designing a site, you can do a couple of different things. I might actually put some kind of title or header up here, and I could fill that in later, or I could go straight into the blog post section. For right now, we're just going to go into the blog post section, and you'll get the idea, but of course, I want this to look good. I might actually have a little saying here, a little quote, or a title that says recent blog post, and then drop these in. But basically, I can take this layer and let's see what we got here. Okay, we got our image. Okay, let's get rid of the icon. We're not going to use that icon. And I can leave the image. I could take out the image. I could also, if I wanted to, I could take the rectangle tool and just go over the image on a new layer. So depending on what I wanted to show the graphic designer, they could probably figure out that that's not an image, that this is just a placeholder image for what we want, but I might just fill that in, and I could even write a text block over it that says image. Or I could even, if I wanted to, I could bring in an image, just a quick picture or something, and have 3 different ones here. But basically, this is just a quick way for me to see that, okay, this is a blog post, and we know what we got going on here. And then I'm going to call this blog post 1. I'm going to left click, drag that onto the new layer, make a copy of it. Blog post 2, and grab my move tool. Click on that and move it over and copy it. Blog post 3. Click on that. Okay, and you can see these don't really line up, so I could scale them. Just for sake of time here, I'm just going to move them over and kind of center them out. Okay, so now we're making some leeway. Now I want to divide this up, and maybe I need my podcast post. So I need to divide this. I like this blue line. Maybe I want to keep using this blue line on down. That was in the top section, so let's go find it. I believe it's this here. Yep, so it's this little marker here. I'm going to click on that. Well, not double click it. I'm going to click and drag it onto the new layer button to make a copy. I'm going to drag it out of that folder so it's off by itself. I'm going to rename it line break so I know what it is. Move tool, click on it. Oh. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got that line break there. That's nice. And now I just want to duplicate this because maybe I do the same thing for the blog post. Maybe I decide I want to offset them like we saw with the Smart Passive Income site. However you want to do it, but you know, this is again just to show you the process. So I'm going to do this. Do another line break. And very quickly, just by using things that we already have, assets that we already have in Photoshop, you can see that this is a very easy process, and you can just cut these things to pieces and use just the sections you want to get out an idea of what you want your website to look like. And again, I'd probably put in some titles and things here and say this is recent blog posts. Let me do that. And of course I would spend some time and make this look good and even and pretty, but for right now we're just gonna show you the basics, so it doesn't have to be too pretty. Just try to get the point across that I'm trying to make here. Recent podcast, what are they, episodes? Okay. And then, so what else did we want here? Let's go back up to our notes, take a look at our notes. We got our profile picture, we got our blog post, we wanted a lead magnet and an ad, so let's see how we can do that. I'm going to save this real quick. Okay, I'm going to go back. I need something that looks like a lead magnet. I was looking at this earlier, and this would be a good lead magnet image. Image on the left-hand side, title, talks about the lead magnet, and maybe I have a sign-up button, and I'd probably change this out to what looks like a text box using some of those assets, but we need to find out what that is. That's the 2 blocks. So let's grab that, drag that into our document here, and we can also change the colors of these things. So if you have a branded color that you're working with and you know what you want the color to be, you can do that very easily. They use this blue pretty typically, and that's a good thing because everyone always uses the same blue, which works good. So let's find out which boxes those are. That's that one, that one. Okay, let's delete these. I don't want these. We're going to call this lead magnet. Okay, so that's cool. We got our lead magnet. We want an advertisement. Let's go back in here, see if we can find something that looks like an advertisement. Oh, it says advertisement. Perfect. Okay, we got to figure out what that one is. There's a lot of these. So I just start hiding until it goes away, and then I know what's what. Okay, here we go, 2 images. Let's drag that in. Drop it. We don't need one of them. So we don't want box 2. Let's hide that. Move that over. Okay, cool. And then we'll call that advertisement. Can't spell. Advertisement. And let's move the lead magnet down so it's just kind of centered looking. All right, that looks good. And let's look at our notes. So we pretty much got everything that we wanted to have, and we've done this in, about 20 minutes or so. So very quickly we can just start piecing together how this looks. Of course, we'd want the footer and the navigation at the bottom. Let's just go ahead and drag that in real quick. We're going to use... this one. So we got this footer and sub footer at the bottom. So we'll drag the footer links in. Get them to fit our document. We don't care about the text. Let's just hit OK through that. Again, this is just the design. Beautiful. And footer extended. Yeah, I like that one too. And we're actually gonna have these touch. This would be all that miscellaneous links and information that we might want to put in here. I'll probably make the link, the one above it, a little darker. Let's see. And I can mess around with all this stuff, take out the logo. I don't care about that logo there. Maybe I center and rescale it so it looks a little better here. It's fine. Okay. And let's see, if, say we did want to color in that footer that's above it, how would we do that? We could drop on that, find that background color. And on this one, I can actually double click it and it'll actually bring up a color picker for me because it's a smart layer, and I could darken that up. So that's cool. I could also do an effects color overlay on that section and change it into any color that I want. As long as I have normal selected and 100% opacity, I could go in here and change the color. But because it's a smart layer, it does give me the option to just use a color picker, so we'll go with that. That looks good. Okay, let's take a look at it. So here we go. We have a website very quickly and easily laid out. Maybe I don't like the link at the top, and I'm like, I kind of like this link a little better. Let's throw this link in here. This is navigation menu. Pop that in. Oh, looks like I dropped it in the folder by accident, so make sure you don't do that. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring it to the top. I like to keep things in the layer stack, actually, how they are viewed on the page. Just makes a little more sense. So here we go. Scale this. And I don't need to see all this miscellaneous information. Drop down menu and search results. And then now everything else is kind of touching the top. I might like that. I don't like it though, so I'm going to click on everything. Make sure I have my move tool selected, and I can just move all this down together. And then now the other problem is we have two links. We got these top links and then links bleeding in from the top section. So I'm going to go to the top section, and I'm going to turn off the nav so I don't see it. And then we just got this little bit of white space because we didn't fill up the whole document. We've seen how to do this before with the canvas size, so let's just find out where we're at. This looks about, what does that say? 1710, 1720, so canvas size. Make this 1720. Clipping will occur. Proceed. Okay, now we need to grab everything because it clips it from the center, not from where we want it to clip. So just grab everything and then move it down with the move tool. And there we go. We have a basic layout of our website, and we have everything we wanted. We have our a logo here. It looks like that navigation logo came back in. Typically, if I don't want stuff not navigation, the top section nav. If I don't want stuff, I will usually delete it out. So I'm going to take that nav and get rid of it. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got our, move that over a little bit. Okay, we've got our links. I got my profile picture, maybe some buttons and talking about the site. I've got my recent blog posts and some placeholder gray squares here to show those. I've got my recent podcast episodes. I've got my lead magnet. I'd probably put a different picture in or cover that up with a gray square. I've got my advertisement, my bottom links. So everything that we wanted in our notes, except for social media icons, but you can see how easy it is to just fix that and bring those in. And those are the two ways that you can go about designing this. You can either do it with the grids and rulers and creating these squares and things yourself. Like I could actually make these squares in this text, but it's a little longer process. Why not just use the assets that are already available to you from Adobe and create this website how you see fit? So there you go, a very quick, simple, and easy website design mock-up.